So what got you into the energy healing and all the specific ones that you have?
I think we all come to a point in our life where we experience something, and something comes along in our journey, or we experience, like, I was going through a tough time in my life, and I had a Reiki session, and it just kind of happened. I stumbled across it, and it was so healing for me. So each of my modalities that I do for my clients, I have in some way stumbled across them some way or another, and they helped me so much along my journey, and I just wanted to deep dive into them and share them with the world.
So you had a great experience with the modality, and then you got trained in it, and you help people that way?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Which explains, the multitude of things that I offer. I grew up thinking that I had to just focus on one thing, become really good at it, and it didn't jive with me. I always felt like I wanted to do so many things, and I think it's part of my design, part of my makeup,
Yeah.
So I just dove into them. Yeah.
You definitely have options.
Yes.
I love it. Okay. What can someone expect for the first time that they come into a session with you?
I think everybody always comes in just a little bit nervous, but when I take a client on, or they come into a session, I make sure that they feel comfortable and they know that it's at their own pace, and they're in the lead. I'm just facilitating a safe space for them to come in.
So when I got my craniosacral therapy with you, we also talked, like, what specifically do you do in order to make it safe for clients, feel safe when they as soon as they walk in the door, I felt like it was very welcoming.
Oh, that's great. I think the number one thing that I focused on, even setting my office up, was to have a very calming aesthetic. I didn't want a lot to be in the space. I wanted it to feel calming when they come in. I want people to feel welcome when they come in. I want them to know that they're seen and heard when they come in. So,
okay, that's awesome. How do you tailor your service to meet the emotional and mental health needs for your clients?
Okay, so this is where I could go on. I meet everybody where they're at, and so whether a person needs personal training, or maybe they come in one day and they just don't have the energy to work out, or maybe they have an injury, or maybe something is coming up for them in that day, we're able to switch gears and dive into those things that are coming up for them. For instance, if someone does come in for a personal training session, but they feel like they have the energy, but we get going and all of a sudden, and they're like, something's really coming up with this. We can actually switch gears, and maybe they need a craniosacral session, or maybe they need some Reiki, or maybe they just need to talk through some things, I think being able to listen to their needs and attune to that and make sure they're getting what they need in that moment.
Nice. Do you do anything differently? So if somebody were to come in, we talked about how you already make your environment safe and welcoming. Do you do anything differently if you know somebody is coming from a traumatic background or has a traumatic background?
Yes, I think allowing, when I know someone is coming in and they have had some trauma, and we know that their session is geared around that, we will definitely slow things down and just allow them to be for a moment. I think it's quick. We want to jump in and we want to help. That's what we're geared to do, right? To jump in and help. But if we can slow the situation down, slow that moment down for them, and just allow them to breathe and be in that space, I think that's really, really helpful to promote that safe environment for them. So.
Okay. And the other thing that I really appreciated was you asked if I wanted to be included, like, this is what I'm going to do and why I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to just be quiet and do my thing? So you gave me the choice.
Yes. Yeah. It's always the client's choice. And I feel like some people come in and they need to just shut off. They need to not say another word. Maybe they've said all the words, and they just need to be there. And if we can hold space just for them to be there in silence and just allow whatever happens to happen, absolutely, I'll always give them the option to participate in any of the feelings that they're feeling too. So.
And you didn't know this, but I was also in work mode, so I was asking all the questions
yes.
so I, for this.
Yeah.
And so I just thought you were really good about explaining things when I would ask.
Oh,
I definitely left there feeling like I had a lot more information than when I came in about it, because I had no idea what craniosacral therapy really was when I went in.
It's incredible work. It's such fun work, and I don't think a lot of people do have the information. Like, what is this practice? You know, and to take a deep dive on how everything is so intricately connected in our bodies is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
From our cerebrospinal fluid to our nerves and
Yes.
everything. So
Okay. What role does nutrition play in emotional and mental well-being?
this is my favorite topic out of all of them. I think. Where do I go with this? Because it plays such a deep role in our nervous systems, in our digestion, in everything. And most of us are stuck in this place of not eating enough to even support our daily processes of breathing and just working. And I think when we can bring that nourishment in, we're actually helping our nervous system to calm down. And I think that's such a huge piece. So there's so many different, I can deep dive into so many of the nutrients, you know, but when we are nourishing ourselves to the fullest, we actually can experience more calmness, and we're able to kind of work through traumas a lot more efficiently and a lot better. So.
And I know if you are trying to get through your day without enough gas in the tank, it's really hard.
Yeah, and then stress can feel so much worse than if you were to have nourished your body completely in the first place. So yeah, it can seem 10 times worse in the day. So,
Nice.
yeah.
How does craniosacral therapy specifically support nervous system regulation?
This is an awesome question too. I love this one. That's our number one goal with craniosacral therapy, is just to get us out of fight or flight. You know, we spend so much of our day in fight or flight, even if we don't realize it. We could be preparing for an interview, we could be preparing for a client coming in, and we're in fight or flight. It's the chronic fight or flight that we want to get out of. And so if we can take a moment, and at the beginning of each session, I just take people into a breathing practice and calm them down and get them back into a rest and digest, so they can actually feel what's happening in their body.
Just like we did before
Yes,
we started.
yes, exactly, yes. And then we're able to just look at things a little bit clearer. When we're in that, I'm being chased by a lion, you know, because our body has no idea. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's great.
What do you want to share about the energy healing that you do?
I think everyone can benefit from energy healing. It seems like this woo-woo aspect, right, of our work, but it's so beneficial to just become really in tune with what's happening in our body, what's happening in our fascia, what's happening in our nervous system. And so when we can again slow down and listen to what our body's telling us energetically, intuitively, we get a lot of clear answers. So I just hope that everybody can experience it at some point in time, because it's pretty helpful, pretty remarkable.
Nice. And how do people, if they want to schedule with you, how do they go about that?
So I have a website at www.nirmanahealing.org, and you can check out all of my services on there and kind of decide what's right for you.
And if you have any troubles scheduling, just email her, and she's very good about getting back to you.
Yes, I try to get back as soon as I can. So
Yeah. That was probably a user error on my end. But
yeah, no, that was great. That was perfect. So yeah, anything. So yes.
okay. Anything else you want to share?
Nope. I just I think that answers. It's really awesome. So
Okay. Well, thank you for
Yes.
sharing your wisdom with us today.
Yeah,
It was really great to have you.
absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.